Hello students, welcome to your next poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo from your book Honeydew. Now whenever we do a poem, first we see the poet, name of the poet, then we see what exactly is the direct meaning of the poem, what is the symbolic meaning or the message, what are the different poetic devices that have been used. Now in this poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo, direct meaning, it is a dialogue between a pond-bound duck and the kangaroo, who represents the duck's greatest chance at freedom. What would be the symbolic meaning or the message of the poem? In friendship, so long friends are willing to compromise and support each other, anything and everything is possible. Just as in the poem, despite the differences, the two, the duck and the kangaroo, shared their journey and were extremely happy. So the theme of this poem could be compromise. Now, next is the poetic devices that have been used over here. First could be alliteration. For example, I'll take up this two words, good gracious. Same g sound has been used, so that is an alliteration that has been used. Then comes anaphora. Now what does anaphora mean? The same sounding words in the starting of the lines, right? Then comes refrain. Poetic device has been used, that is the use of musical rhyming sentence said again and again. For example, in this poem, said the duck to the kangaroo. It has been repeated again. So that is a refrain. Now let me just read the poem or recite the poem line wise. Said the duck to the kangaroo, good gracious, how do you hop over the fields and the water too? And if you were never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. That was the first answer. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the Dee and the Jelly Bowly, over the land and over the sea. Please take me on a ride, oh do, said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires a little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but one objection, which is, if you will let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the romance, said the kangaroo. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have brought a cloak, and every day a cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady. And quite at the end of my tail, so away they went into the hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo? Now children, let me just give you the explanation or what the poet has tried to convey in these lines. The summary goes like this. The duck praises the kangaroo for his hopping ability. The duck says that the kangaroo has the ability to jump over the fields and water bodies. His life is happening as he can move and go anywhere. The duck compares his life with that of the kangaroos. He feels that his life has become boring by staying in an unpleasant pond. He has a deep desire to go out and move around the world. He tells the kangaroo that he wishes he could move like him. The duck requested the kangaroo to take him on the world tour by making him sit on his back. He further said that he would sit quietly and would say nothing. He will only make a quack sound for the whole day. He mentioned two places, D and the Jelly Boli, which he wanted to visit. Adding on, he says that he would also like to visit seas and the lands. So he requested him to take him on a ride. After listening to the duck, the kangaroo replies that the idea sounds nice, but he needs to think about it. He boldly spoke to the duck and informed him that his feet would become wet and cold by traveling the long trip. This would result in body pain. The duck replied to him by saying that he thought about it when he was sitting on the rock. He said he had brought the 4 pairs of woolen socks. These socks would nicely fit into the web feet. He added that he will wear a blanket to protect himself from the cold and will smoke a cigar every day. He will take care of his beloved kangaroo by protecting him from the cold. After listening to the response of the duck, the kangaroo felt satisfied and replied that he is all ready to take him on the tour. As the night arrived, the pale light of the moon covered the entire sky. The duck quietly sat on the kangaroo's tail at one end. It helped the kangaroo to make a proper balance. Finally, they started their journey with a hop, and the duck held the kangaroo's tail tightly for his safety. They moved around the world 3 times. They were very happy to travel the whole world, and enjoyed each other's company. With that, we come to the end of the explanation, children. I hope you liked the information. And now all that we can say over here is hats off to the theme of the poem, and that is compromise. That's all. Thank you. You can read and recite the poem yourself. Happy day.